Hello. So that was episode 9. What did you all make of that? Those of you that didn't catch it, I cover quite a lot in tonight's episode on WOW TV, Waves of Wellness TV. And just before the show went out, I did a live in Waves of Wellness Warriors for truth seekers and truth speakers. So I posted that link on this page for anyone who's interested in watching that. Hi Grace. Yeah, tonight's show was all about helping people access some degree of detoxification that is natural and safe and effective if they are unable to access Detox Week. But I think it's very important that people understand the strategies I gave on TV this evening. They are not going to shift your cells from degeneration to regeneration mode. They are not going to increase your immunity in 7 days, sadly. In order to do anything like that, we're talking about cell shift, changing gene expression. That's epigenetics, okay? And that is a very specific area that I work in and needs to be monitored. You know, you need a detox practitioner. You wouldn't go in, and have your appendix out unless you were in a hospital and you had a specialist there. You know, at the same time, detoxification is absolutely essential that you have a detox practitioner. I've been saying this for 25 plus years. The internal terrain of your body, of your mind, needs a professional, highly trained, highly experienced to guide you through making changes in the body and the mind. It shouldn't be DIY, do it yourself at home. There are things we can do at home. There are things, really healthy things, that we can bring into our daily wellness practice to help protect us, to help prevent becoming sick, and potentiate ourselves and our genes and our, DNA, mental state. There are lots of things that we can do. And the things that I know are safe and effective, hi Kerry, for you to do at home, unsupervised, unguided, that should be part of your daily wellness practice, I put into tonight's show, all right? So please, you can do that. Anybody can do them. They're really, really healthy, proactive actions that you guys can all take. One of the things that I spoke about in the live earlier this evening was the sympathetic nervous system. Now, I haven't gone into detail on WOW TV about talking about that. I haven't gone into detail on wavesofwellness.life website, or really in any of the videos I've done for Detox Week, because this I was going to speak about quite a bit in Detox Week. However, because of conversations I've had with so many people over the past few days, I'm speaking about it now, right? So, basically, at the beginning of the worldwide pandemic in March last year, a lot of people expected me to speak out about what was going on and about what to do. And I didn't speak out. What I found on social media was a lot of noise, And people had nosedived into a spin of fear, anxiety, panic, confusion, loss. Many people at the time, were very frightened for themselves, their children, their parents, their loved ones. And nobody was really hearing anything except a lot of noise. And so I decided to step away from the noise, because something I was more aware of than most people is that when the body goes into that state of shock, fear, and we were all shocked and in a dreadful state of fear in March 2020, a system in the body called the sympathetic nervous system goes into action. It becomes dominant. And you may know that as your fight-flight response, okay? So it's something that happens when we're attacked or we have a bit of a shock or a trauma. The sympathetic nervous system, literally, to give us the extra superpowers we need to defend ourselves and escape a very present threat, say we're being attacked. We need extra energy in our muscles and in our legs to be able to run away. To source that extra energy, what the body does is it reduces the amount of energy it's sending to the immune system, the gut, and the brain, all right? So that's what happens. Now that's okay if it's for 12 hours or it's for 24 hours, you know, and then it moves. You know, the sympathetic nervous system moves from dominant status, and it allows the parasympathetic nervous system to move into dominant position, all right? And this is so important because the parasympathetic nervous system does feed the immune system and the gut and the brain. This is rest and regenerate mode, all right? This is a wonderful mode to be in our dominant status. The problem is we didn't go into sympathetic nervous system fight-flight mode because we were being attacked in the street. The shock, the horror, the fear, the panic, the disbelief was daily, constant. It was coming through the TV, it was coming through the newspapers, it was coming through the radio. People everywhere were talking about it. We were seeing, you know, shocking scenes from all over the world. It was terrifying, and it was daily, and it was ongoing. And so what I saw in March, fast forward 10 months, I knew that people would be in a state, an exhaustive state, due to the sympathetic nervous system being in overdrive for over 10 months. That means, fast forward to the end of 2020, people would be living in a constant state of brain fog. People's immune systems, naturally quite balanced immune systems, would be low because they hadn't been fed adequately for the last 10 months, because the body has been in a state of sympathetic nervous system fight-flight mode for a long time. So what I decided to do was not to speak out and add to the noise. I decided to step down and take 27 years of experience and create a safe, doable, effective, affordable, accessible protocol, method that anybody could access that would move them from sympathetic nervous system overload into parasympathetic dominance. And at the same time as doing that, I also worked on creating how we could mentally detoxify people and allow these blocks they had to their wellness to pass, so they weren't holding these blocks in place, to allow the fear to go. What I also worked on with part of the detox week was a cellular shift. That means after being in a persistent state of fight and flight for over 10 months, energy levels are down. Cells are not regenerating. They're not in that mode. They've shifted to degeneration mode, which is not good. Who wants to be degenerating, you know? And the immune system was going to be very low as well. So I knew all of this beforehand. And so that was my focus really over the last 10 months, was to create something that could shift people back into parasympathetic dominant mode. So they could start to have an immune system that was actually working for them. And the thing is, a lot of people, you know, whether you have many conversations, I think it's the most popular conversation about what's going on in the world today. Is it real? Is it not real? Is it a lie? Is it the truth? You know, it doesn't matter, really. What matters is your immune system, after over 10 months of being in a sympathetic nervous system state, your immune system is low, and that's a concern. Your brain fog is now the norm. That's a concern. The gut and the brain axis is not communicating as it should. That's a concern. Cells are in a state of degeneration, not regeneration. That's a concern. And that means that your cells are not protected as they should be. And that places people at risk of many things. You know, so if we look back at our history and we look back at World War II, you know, where people were living in constant fear, loss, you know, many people that loved people had lost people, social isolation, trapped miles away from their families. And it went on for a long time. And so people were in a state of sympathetic nervous system overdrive for many years. And then as the war ended and people came out of that state, we saw an upsurge in illnesses we had never seen before. You know, there was a massive upsurge in them because the immune system that would normally be fine of the majority of, you know, human beings was super low, even for them. And they didn't have the resilience. They didn't have the energy to be able to defend themselves. We're all born with our own unique DNA code, all of us. And our genes in our body follow that code. It's called gene expression. Sometimes our genes can become mutated. They go off path, literally. And the mutation is caused by environmental factors, things that are outside of the body. Once our genes become mutated, they're no longer on our DNA coded plan. They've gone off plan. And that puts them in a really not good position. And so that's called epigenetics, and I work very much in that field. I knew in March 2020 how people were going to be, how their gene expression was going to be, and how the cells were going to be as degeneration, regeneration by the end of 2020. And so for me, the detox week is all about that. You know, we have to get what has been lost back. We have to reclaim our power of mind and thought, power of which mode our cells are in, degeneration, regeneration. Where is our immunity, low or high? Our toxic overload, where is it? You know, tonight on the show, I showed an image of Louis Pasteur's germ theory. They used fish bowls. And I think it was a real visual image for people. If the terrain, all right, which for purposes of this conversation, we'll say is a fish bowl, if the inside of the fish bowl is dirty, what do? Do you vaccinate the fish? Or do you clean the tank? And I think what concerns me the most is that people aren't applying common sense at this time. And I think that's because people are living in a perpetual state of brain fog. You can put as many vaccines or medication, whatever you like, in the fish. But is that fish going to be well if it's living in a dirty tank of water? And that tank of water, right, is the inside of your body. So if you do not have a clean terrain, if the inside of your body is not clean, then the fish, you, cannot be fed nurtured, sustained, optimized, healthy. The terrain has to be clean. And that's the bottom line, really. You know, we have to have a clean terrain to be the best that we can be, to be the healthiest we can be, to think clear thoughts in a clear mind. You've got to detox the toxic overload from the mind, from the cells, from the organs, from your life. And you've got to activate cell regeneration. I mean, we were born, all of us were born with the ability to self-heal and self-clean. Most people don't even know that. Our self-healing ability is deactivated by environmental factors. We put blocks in so self-healing cannot occur. And this entire detox week was designed to pull those blocks out, to remove them, to reclaim our body's ability, its innate ability to self-heal, to self-clean. You know, why would we not want that? I think another thing as well is that this week I've been asked by so many people, you know, do I need to take a week off work to do this? Absolutely not. My goodness me. That does not constitute accessible and doable for me. I cannot take a week off work to do this. No, right? Everything about detox week, everything I designed for this detox week was very specific, all right? Easy to do, to infuse into your daily life, you know? So you don't need any supplements to do this. You don't need days off work to do this. You don't need anything like that to do this. All you need to do this is to have a willingness to learn. A willingness to make small but powerful changes in your daily routine. A willingness to go through something new, something you may never ever have experienced before. And know that every day, the process that you're taking your body and mind through, you're taking it through to move your body into a parasympathetic mode, into rest and regenerate mode. That you're detoxifying your mind from the resentment and the anger and the fear and the loss and the shock and the trauma that has been collected in there for the last year. That all that's going, you know, so you can actually think clearly again. You know, you're going to let go of that brain fog. That you're going to be moving your cells back into regeneration mode. Feel that energy and vitality surge through your body again and through your mind. You know, I think it's very important to be clear that this is a 3-step detox: mental, cellular, and the body and the organs. So the last step is literally about cleaning the tank, right? And all of these steps added up together is going to put your body and cells and genes and mind in a much higher state than they're in now. Your immunity, my goodness, your immunity is just going to love you so much for this. It's going to be able to defend you against so many things. Because it's going to be getting fed every day. Because you're going to be in a parasympathetic mode as dominant mode. You're going to be in a regeneration mode of cells, not degeneration mode. Brain fog is going to be gone. You're going to be able to think. Won't that be a relief? Sleep issues, sleep disturbances, gone. All right? One of the blocks to sleep is a toxic mind. A mind that's not being able to be detoxified because the incoming toxins are relentless. And after a while, we get into a habit where we just accept that. We don't even realize it anymore. We just get on with life. We accept the aches, the pains. We accept the migraines. Put it down to aging, put it down to stress, put it down to lots of different things. But it's not normal. What's normal is to have your cells regenerate. What's normal is to have clarity of thought and mind. What's normal is to have your body fully energized when you wake up each day, because it healed itself while you were sleeping. These are normal things. It's normal to have a good immune response. That's normal. It's how we were designed. And this is all stopped and blocked, and we're knocked into different modes. When we move into a dominant sympathetic nervous state for too long, and it, as I said before, it doesn't matter what you believe. It really doesn't, because that's just noise. It doesn't matter. What matters is your immune system strong? And is the terrain, the inside of your body, clean? Because whether you choose to vaccinate, not vaccinate, medicate, not medicate, if the terrain is not clean, then none of that is going to matter. You've got to be clean, all right, to be healthy. And I think that message really needed to come over. It really needed to be said. People need a clean terrain. And even Louis Pasteur, on his deathbed, confessed, his last words were confession. The germ theory is wrong. It's all about the terrain. So we've got to really learn from our past, from our history, from science. We've got to learn, and we've got to take that on board. We've got to be aware and responsible and accountable for our own internal terrain. And we can be. The detox week was designed to be accessible to everyone. Even people that miss the lives. We record them and upload them immediately as they end, so you can catch them when you get home. I have ensured that nobody needed to worry about supplements or any kind of exotic food. The thing you need is a body brush. Everything else, right, okay, I'm getting a question. Everything else is food. So many people with high blood pressure, would it be, yes. As I said, I designed this detox for everybody who is over 16, not pregnant and not breastfeeding. I think that's really important. So the detox is safe for anyone, anywhere in the world, with any condition at all. All right? I think that's absolutely important. It doesn't matter what medication you're taking, it doesn't matter what condition you have, this is safe for everybody. Sarah's asking me to demo body brushing. Okay, so I'm going to demo body brushing a lot in the detox week. And I've demoed it in WOW TV series many times as well. So I'm not going to do it right now. But yeah, body brushing, lots of other strategies, some of them very ancient, some of them very new, are going to be included into this detox week. And the focus is about cells and epigenetics. So the environmental factors, and there are many of them: food, the air, the water, electromagnetic frequencies, the soil, because the soil is what our food grows in. So even organic food, if it's grown in soil that has been watered by contaminated water from the air, then that food is going to be nutritionally deficient. So, there are so many environmental factors. Anger, resentment, fear, worrying about our own health, worrying about our children, worrying about money, worrying about what's going to happen to the world. I mean, at the moment, there's so many people have contacted me about worrying about what's going on in America. I'm concerned about what's going on inside of all your bodies, and you're worried about what's happening in America. Be present now in your own body. Take responsibility in an area that you actually can. And that's for you. How you think, how you feel, what mode your cells and genes are in, how clean or dirty the internal terrain is of your body, and how well your body and cells and genes are set up to defend itself against anything. That's where the focus needs to be, guys. Not on America. All right? It's got to be here, now, you. Because if you don't put your own oxygen mask on first, you can't save anybody. And I learned that a long time ago. All right? So you can't help anybody in America. If you're chronically fatigued, have brain fog, have a low immune system, feel awful most of the time, have no energy either to get up in the morning or to sustain you after 3 o'clock in the afternoon, if you're not sleeping well, if you're dealing with multiple wellness and health conditions, this is a serious issue and it belongs to you. You think, other people are concerned about whether your terrain is clean or not. You have to be concerned about it. As far as I'm concerned, if it's not clean, adding more chemicals to it does not sound like a good idea to me. Clean yourself up first. Put your cells and your genes in a mode that you choose them to be in through free will. Claim back your power to say, I wish to be in a parasympathetic dominant mode. I wish my cells to be regenerating. I wish for my immune system to be strong and getting stronger every day. I wish for my mind to be clear, for my focus and concentration to be clear. And you have the ability to do that in detox week, okay? This is not anything you need to take time off work for, absolutely not. This is not something that you need, a PhD in epigenetics or any understanding of wellness or detoxification at all to do. I am there as your guide, and I've been guiding people for over 20 years. I'm good at what I do, very good at it. And this is an opportunity for people to access me for 7 days while I guide them through a process I created for you specifically to hit these targets. For you. I already have a super strong immune system. My parasympathetic mode is already dominant. My cells are already regenerating. I look better at 50 than I did at 35 because I'm regenerating, because I know this stuff. I put this stuff inside my super busy life every day. It is easy to do when you know how. All right? Also, people that sign up and become members of this detox week will have full access to the members area for 3 months. So even if you can't join us and start next week, everything is recorded and goes in there after each live show. So you will have full access to all that material and to me for any time inside the next 3 months. Literally, I removed every possible block, excuse, and reason people could use to not do this. So if it's something you choose not to do, you choose not to do it because your health is not important to you right now. Because it is doable, accessible, affordable, safe, and effective for everyone. All right? There are people that are attending that speak Maltese, speak English, and can translate everything to anyone that's going to find difficulty. All right? We as a collective are coming together to make a difference for ourselves. We are going to focus on ourselves in this collective detox week members area. All right? And so that's really what I wanted to say, because I think there's been a lot of confusion. I've been asked so many questions about it. Incredible, really. I'm very excited about this week, but I really needed people to understand that it's not a detox to remove stones from the liver or the kidneys, or it's not like paper exercise. This is a very live, very active, very goal orientated 7-day detox where you're going to learn so much about yourself, and you're going to learn it easily. All right, you're going to come out of this week feeling energized, with a clear mind, and being confident that you have reclaimed your power, and your genes are regenerating, and your cells are regenerating, and they're all doing the very best they can for you. All right, because you moved the parasympathetic nervous system into dominant status, and you cleaned the terrain, and you detoxified the toxicity inside your mind. All right, and so I hope to see you guys joining us. I really do. As far as I know, unless you don't have internet access, there is no reason why anybody can't access this detox. So if you have any questions, please message me. I check social media all the time throughout the day at the moment. Or you can email me at detox@wavesofwellness.life. I think it's really important. Again, demo of body brushing. I want to demo body brushing in the detox week. Right? I want to make sure that it is done properly. I want to make sure that it is done in the right time of the day, not now, because it's the end of the day. And I'm not going to damage my face by doing something to it that should be done in the morning. I'm also not going to give myself a headache by stimulating the lymphatic system on my face and around my throat. So that goes into overdrive when I'm going to sleep in about an hour and a half. So everything you need to know when you come on the detox week, I will be showing you. All right. Everything you need to know will be demoed by me at that time. And anybody that joins the Wellness Warriors that wants me to show them certain different things after the detox week, if they are safe for you to do, then I will show you how to do them. In the meantime, I'm going to say good night. I do hope that you will put your oxygen mask on first and deem yourselves important enough to really put your body back in a state that it deserves to be in, that you were born for, which is self-healing, self-cleaning, and a really strong immune response. And I really hope you will start having really good mental clarity. I mean, to live in a constant state of brain fog for nearly a year, I can't even, go there, because if my brain fog was like that constantly, it was bad enough feeling like that in February and March. To have had it for the whole of 2020, I just can't even imagine. So it's time, to be kind to yourselves, guys, right? Really kind. And I really want you to make good choices for yourselves. Focus on you, please. Bring the focus in on you. The rest of the world can wait. If you're going to be of benefit anywhere in the world, you cannot be of benefit 100% if you are not in 100% high immunity, good mental clarity, emotionally stable, your cells in a regeneration mode, and your genes absolutely expressing themselves to your DNA code. If those things are not happening, you can't help anybody else. You can't even help yourself. So it's time to step up and make some good choices, please. All right? In the meantime, I'm going to say goodnight because I have a detox week to finalise and pull together. It's been really good the last few weeks. I'm coming on live and speaking to you all and really engaging in some of the thoughts you all have. I'm feeding that in, to the detox week. So you don't need supplements, you just need a body brush, and you need access to food, mineral water, and a desire to feel better. All right? And I hope to see you guys at detox week. All right, ciao, ciao. Good night.